is up? Twink Nation, we are live. No more music. How's it going, Nico? Oh wow, you cannot. I've been trying to change the text color from that awful neon green, and I thought, oh, I'll make it like a light blue because then you can see it perfectly on a dark background. And then if the background's white, then you can still kind of see it because it's like blue a little bit. I didn't realize that with the face cam view, since my bed is light blue, you can't see it. Backdrop, that's the thing. I was trying to figure out, well, I was going to try and figure out how to put a backdrop on it. And I never got around to it. I was like, I'll do that after I finish my homework. And then, 3 days passed, and here we are now. I turned off the filters I had on my microphone, but it seems like they made this a lot louder, so I'm gonna put it back. Hopefully everything still sounds okay. I think I heard you ask how I was doing. Doing awesome, actually. Really good. I'm gonna work, give some friends some Girl Scout cookies. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Girl Scout cookies are sick. A light blue. A light blue. Light blue. I just gotta figure out some kind of action. Oh, on my bedspread, you can see it. So I just have to hope that that. Actually, you know what I'll do? So now when the text goes up, high enough to go above my bedspread, it won't, be on a light blue pillow, unable to be seen. All right. Let's go with easy then. I got bagel bites. I dropped one of the pepperonis on my desk. Oh. So have you played this game or just watched it? Crunch. Ow. You've seen zero of it. Oh shit. I thought you gave it to me because didn't you say I just know the idea and that literature movie people like it? Oh, okay. Sick. Well, so far what I've played, I have really enjoyed it. Um it's like a point and click kind of game. You're the only thing I can compare it to is Club Penguin. Even though I'm sure there are more movies than just Club Penguin. But in Club Penguin, you click where you want your character to walk to. That's how the movement in this game is like. And there's a mystery and yeah, point and click. There's a mystery and a ton of different people, just like Club Penguin, exactly. A ton of different people you can talk to. Elite Penguin Force, yeah, see, you get it. And you can talk to people. And this is my character in the bottom left. He's an alcoholic. And their way of starting off the game, because obviously they're sort of throwing you into the middle of this here, right? And a lot of games, the story starts off with oh, you're in a brand new place, so that's why you don't know anything. This one, you're in an area that you've been all your life pretty much. So then they're like, all right, well, the player doesn't know anything, so how do we go about this? How do we fix this? And they basically make it so that you have been on such a bender the last 3 days that your character forgot everything about himself. So you have to literally like ask people like a lot of the beginning is like people being like, "Oh, officer, like we have to do this thing," and like the dialogue, one of the dialogue options for like the first like 30 minutes, like first hour or two of the game is like, "How do you even know I'm a cop? I don't remember anything. I don't know who I am. Where do I live?" Like I step outside of like a building, and it's like, "Oh, you remember somewhere in that direction is where your house is." And I go back in, and like the hotel owner is like, "You owe us so much money, like from all the alcohol you bought." And like this in the bottom right, I have 40 cents. I owe them like hundreds of dollars. I got this 40 cents because I found it on like some counter. And they're like, "You can't stay here another night until you like pay your bill." And I'm like, "All right, well," I'm like, I tell the like police captain this. I'm like, I need money like immediately. Like I know where to continue this investigation. And they're like, "Why don't you just like stay at home and then just like walk to the place every day?" It's like, I literally don't know where I live. That's why. Like I don't remember where my house is. I don't know my address. And they're like, "All right, Val, you're embarrassing." Also, there's a clock as well in the bottom right, and I haven't like gone through a full day yet, but I'm kind of like a little bit like, I guess I need to get a lot of money before the end of the day, or I need to figure out where my house is. Like the setup a lot. Yeah, the setup's really sick. This guy's been helping me.
Yes.
I can talk to him. Oh, also they have like rolling and stuff, like whatchamacallit, like Dungeons and Dragons almost, where I have a bunch of stats, and the higher a specific stat is, the higher the chances of me like um being able to complete certain things is. My friend told me some kid told him to stop being a cop, and the options were quit being a cop and kill yourself. I don't know if I've gotten to that yet, but that's awesome. Dude, it's like, isn't that like Fallout? Actually, I haven't played Fallout, so I don't know, but maybe. Hmm. There is one kid, and I bet it's the kid that your friend was talking about. Um, you seem to be following me is one of the options. It told me like when I met him, it was like, "Oh, he's been added to your party." So like, I personally know, oh, that's how video games work. Of course, you're gonna be following me around, but this isn't a dialogue option. You need to be following me.
Excuse me?
Just an
You
observation.
have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Prioritizes containers. Is it because I just walk up to shit and like look inside? Dude, this game's sense of humor is fucking amazing. It's insane. Okay then.
He simply nods. Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Cool. Convince Kim there's a sexy dark mystery in the case. There's a 58% chance of it working. I think that might be funny. Isn't Inland Empire the name of a David Lynch movie? Anyway, I'm gonna try it.
What if?
And it worked, let's go.
Did it?
Did what, the Hanged Man?
Yes, you killed him.
Me? That's not
And
sexy.
then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory.
That's not sexy. What are you, what is
This
it?
is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing.
What is this twist? What the
and you
fuck?
can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was a Lynch movie. I'm pretty sure it is. I think I saw today an account that was like posting a daily screenshot from Inland Empire.
Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
I think I may be the murderer. I killed the man and then tricked myself into forgetting about it. Keep it to yourself. This is your burden to bear now. Or discard the idea. Alright, I'll just say that I did it because surely Kim will say, no, that's stupid, you're an idiot.
And what has led you to this
Pierce
conclusion?
unfazed. Chest feels hard, like
That
it's
is a
something.
common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass.
What an overly intellectual way of saying you've got a hangover, dumbass.
I find that highly unlikely.
Gained
It's not
experience?
unusual
Let's go.
for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So let's get back to it, shall we?
Okay, my formidable +1 Sylvie's suicide jokes. I forget who Sylvie is. Or like where I talked to Sylvie. Oh, Sylvie was over the phone. My bad. Wait, that's it. I gotta remind myself how to do everything. So this is all the like skills and stuff. So like I upgraded my rhetoric. The art of persuasion. Enjoy rigorous intellectual discourse. My best is Inland Empire right now. Hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. What's my worst? My worst, I have 3 really bad ones. Visual calculus. Reconstruct crime scenes, make laws of physics work for the law. Drama. Play the actor, lie and detect lies. And logic. Wield raw intellectual power to deduce the world. Lots of systems, yes. My clothes actually affect I look ridiculous. My clothes affect what bonuses I get and what like minuses I get as well. So my hat is +1 encyclopedia, which is like just like knowing the definitions of things basically. Esprit de corps is like it's something along the lines of like the feeling of like belonging to the police or belonging to the detective agency. It's like I don't know how to describe it. I'd have to pull it up on the thing. My shirt gives -1 suggestion but +1 conceptualization. Pants is -1 savoir faire and +1 electrochemistry. Comfort level. For esprit de corps, but maybe also like a sense of community. Yeah, feeling of belonging, kind of. Yeah, I think it's like a feeling of community within like, or also it like if there are certain things that like the police force is supposed to do, or if like maybe even like a sense of authority as well. It's like that. It's like it encompasses a couple different things. Electrochemistry is basically just the voice inside your head that's like, we should do a lot of drugs. We should smoke this pack of cigarettes that we found. We should go drink as much as possible. Shoes, +1 composure, -1 savoir faire. I'll have to look at that one as well. +1 interfacing, +1 inland empire. The horrific necktie. My necktie started talking to me when I first started looking at the body. It's insane. I think my headcanon is that this guy's schizophrenic. But I don't know for sure. Thought cabinet. I forgot what the thought cabinet was. What the fuck is that? Sort thoughts. Oh, I forgot what this. Let's rewind. Let's trace your drunken steps back home. Jump across the race. Oh, that's right. This thing's gonna tell me how to get back home. And the thought cabinets thing is it's what's the word? Abbreviation is THC, which I think is funny. So is getting more electrochemistry fighting those urges or wanting them? I think it's wanting them. I think you get more urges the higher your electrochemistry is. Because you'll see when we do some more like dialogue and stuff, like I don't know if you noticed when we were talking to him, the Inland Empire was doing a lot of the narration. Basically, the different the different like whatchamacallit, the different skill thingies do the different narrations, and they're like your thoughts, and they talk to you, which is part of why I think you might be schizophrenic. And then here's the journal with the tasks. Okay, I have to grind and raise my empathy to talk to Kuno again. Kuno is this annoying ass kid who's probably the one that told your friend to stop being a cop, and the options became quit being a cop and kill yourself. That's probably who that was. Because Kuno's just awful. But I chose the wrong dialogue option way earlier, essentially, and so now, in order to ask him where like the rest of the armor from the body might be, I have to like grind and raise my empathy levels up. So. Getting the body down. The only two options I didn't try already were shooting the body down or asking people in the area to help get it down. And Kim, the other officer, thinks that getting other people's help is a bad idea because all the nearby people that I would be asking for help from are suspects. So they might not be super happy with helping me take it down, might not be super happy with me. Pay for damages. I already asked the station for additional funds, so at this moment, this task is at a stalemate. Find smokes and smoke them. This is part of the electrochemistry talking to me. I saw like a used pack of cigarettes, and I accidentally did the wrong combination of answer choices, and now I have an official task, which is to not smoke the used pack of cigarettes I found, because that would be ludicrous. Instead, I have a task to go get cigarettes and like smoke all of them. I don't want to do that one though. I also lost my badge, so to find it, I have to ask a bunch of people about the tattoo's possible meanings. I'll probably be asking Kuno about that as well. Gotta find out who made the call to report the body. This might take some time. Gotta sing karaoke later, because I looked at a stage in the hotel lobby, and I was like, I should sing karaoke later. Should I say something really happy or really sad? I was like, I don't know, say something sad, I guess. So now I'm like hell-bent on singing karaoke later. And then I gotta find my gun, which I also lost. Cool. My empathy's at 6. I need 40 more experience to level up something, I think. What is savoir-faire? Sneak under their noses, stun with immense panache. Oh, and I can look at what esprit de corps is. The very spirit of policing, the Kopgeist. It enables you to understand your blue-souled sisters and brothers, not only by picking up subtle signals from your partner, but by witnessing flash sideways scenes as they play out in your precinct. At high levels, you'll be the very heart of the police force, not only willing and able, but obliged to take a bullet for your partner. However, without esprit de corps, you'll be flying blind, unable to understand discreet remarks colleagues make in high-stakes situations, remarks that might just save your life. Sounds a little bit wrong. I guess it's understanding secret police talk. Run. wait, I can zoom out. Okay. Let's go find some more people to talk to.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
The other one is eating a big sandwich.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball
Balls.
game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Can I ask
No.
game it is first?
You got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
I'm gonna observe them first.
See? You're munching and complaining. I've
Where's this
ruined
demon?
my concentration.
This is physical instrument, which I think is about just like, I mean, it's just kind of being able to do things physically, I guess. Like sports or strength, stuff like that. Physical capabilities. Munching and complaining have ruined my concentration. The man throws a metal ball toward a smaller wooden ball. Sand missing by me.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
Fresh measure throw.
I hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
Jesus. Standing tall and proud, he looks at his partner with disgust.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already.
What team?
Doesn't matter what team. Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them down. Get in the game and throw the goddamn ball.
Why are you so mean to me?
Eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Dinky Winky. 42%. And it can't be retried. That's not good. But also, it's just a ball game, so I guess it's not terribly important that I get it right. And then I can talk to them afterwards. Oh? I've never seen this before. Oh. He choked. He whiffed.
This felt
Oh my god.
wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast. You threw your sister's breast.
I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know if I would say
Mon
that.
Dieu. Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw.
Was it?
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear than good job. And this was downright embarrassing.
Why did it feel so wrong?
Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it. But there were gaps.
Something about it. Okay.
Yeah, gaps you tried to fill with thinking. We don't think in sports. We do.
Okay.
It felt like you were going for a
Damaged
thrust.
morale. Fuck.
There was definitely gonna be jumping. Maybe you scored a point, but this is a fiasco.
I thought something way more
What are you
spectacular would
talking
happen.
about? You just executed a pretty much perfect pétanque throw.
Pétanque? I've played that. I played that in French class in high school. You just get one ball as close to this other ball as you can, which is why they were throwing it to a wooden ball. I mean, you could probably guess that from conversation earlier, but
With a pinch of fear.
a pinch of fear. Shut up, half-light. Who are you?
Are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass?
It's just how Johnny Ball game is extraordinary. I was going for something cool, but it screwed up. Like, oh, isn't perfect throw? Well, I still.
Right. Was the demonstration it? Or do you still need something from us, officer?
Damn, Renee.
Yes, officer. What do we need from this gentleman?
Okay, Kim, yeah, whose side are you on, buddy? You seem to be playing a critter.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the
In
locals.
Martinez, the Union is the law. So can you really blame them?
Oh yeah, some backstory that I have learned that should probably explain to you. In this area, so this area is between two towns, or between two precincts, I should say, of like law enforcement. I think I'm from the 57th, and Kim is from the 41st. And so they sent, and so this area, they haven't really decided which precinct like has control over this area. So both precincts sent one person, and neither of the precincts actually want to have to deal with this town. So both precincts sent people that like weren't necessarily bad, but they're like they both sent officers that weren't necessarily going to be competing for this like to solve this case as best as possible. But it's like they sent the officers with the idea of like seeing who gets this town, but in actuality it's like who ends up with this town, because neither of them really want it. And the Union, he's saying in Martinez, the Union is the law. Basically, the I guess the police, by like not wanting to deal with this town, like this town's not like the greatest part of the country or the county or whatever. This isn't like exactly the happiest area ever, because this country used to be like war torn or something like that, and like this area took like the biggest hit from that, I guess. And so the Union, which I don't know if it's like a union for the local like industry, or if it is like that it's just the name of like the local like company or industry or whatever, but basically they've become almost like a gang. And so they're like, or like a mafia or something, where they are they're essentially making up for the lack of a police force. And so that in turn makes it that everyone's super loyal to the Union and not so much the police. The police, to the extent where the police are almost like scared of the Union a little bit. Something like that. I probably didn't explain it as well as the game has been able to so far, but I'm sure throughout this stream, like it'll be easier to understand, it'll make more sense. You know,
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
I love how he's decorating the police so much that he's like, cop is mean. Cop is a mean word. When I, a cop, said cop. Anyway.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
Okay. This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Okay.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Do you know what created it?
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was heavy artillery used?
That's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Communards. What are the communards again?
Communist, socialist,
Of course.
anarchist,
Of course,
call them
yes.
what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. senseless sentimentality.
Let's go. COMMIES. Did you use artillery?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
Squeezing a boule in his fist. I believe boule is the name of the balls that they
Should have
throw in
fought
petrol.
dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs.
Jesus.
We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
Interesting history lesson we're getting. I shot them here in Martinez. They should have chosen a place away from people and buildings. Understand, I'd bomb this place too. Yeah.
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead.
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
Okay.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generations.
Uh-oh.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Points to the northeast. So I think, if I remember correctly, Revachol is the country, and Martinez is this like area. And then Jamrock, if you see Jamrock come up later, I think it already came up since you've been watching, but it comes up again. Jamrock is the town south of here where my guy lives, and like where my precinct is. Oh, sounds grim. I'll definitely turn to northeast, shake your head, and look down at the crater.
This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Coalition boots. Hold on. The coalition question mark?
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
Oh, great. So, this is a xenophobic veteran who, clearly his country was saved as much as it could have been by, foreign allies, and he's still, he's like, they're not, he's like, don't get me wrong, I still hate them, but they're not as bad as the commies. Despite his French accent, he is distinctly American. Actually, I already know this. I just wanted to know if you do too. Is that why everything's so
Damn
bombed?
right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
There's a strange gleam in his eyes.
He approves of this radical approach, knows it was necessary.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Okay. So it is like... I can't tell if Union is supposed to be the name of like the party or the group or regime or whatever, or if it's just like literally a labor union.
Well, it's
My
your
guess
own
is-
damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
Okay, I think Union is is like a political party. It's like a group.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
It's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for the hard-working class to take over. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess, and now they rule us. Shake your head in shame. This coalition seems quite capable, actually. Commies just don't understand how money works. Nothing. I don't. I just do. Okay, hold on. Who's... in real life, whose side would I be on? Okay. So the commies took over Martinez, and the foreigners who were helping these people take it back, they used artillery. We got dunked on a little bit. The commies had the suicide, sex cult propaganda, and mad anarchist women. And then... But we need to get this place back because we had the military coordinated amphibious landing. So then the foreigners shelled it, and then... Okay. Give us a monument. Okay. So, okay, that's weird. So we got the city back, but then the we stormed it and came back or whatever, and then the commies didn't ever surrender, and we were like, well, we're back in our city, so we don't care anymore. And so then now the commies are running things basically, because we didn't force them out or force them to surrender or anything. No, not the commies. The foreigners were like, so we're a victim of America, actually. The foreigners, who I'm now just gonna call America helped us get rid of the commies, and now they've taken us over. That is actually 100% something that America did thousands of times. Not thousands of times. The whole Cold War, America did that. I have two headcanons now. The first one is that my guy is schizophrenic, and the second one is that the foreigners are the United States. This coalition seems quite capable, actually. Commies just don't understand how money works. But let's do this one.
I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains.
Oh dear. My boy's been through a lot.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned through Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
Oh?
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio.
It's interesting that everything he just described is extremely
This is just what
capitalistic, but he also hates the
This was the
communists.
plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
Yeah, no, he's so like unaware of what communism is.
Damn Fricelle. He was the king we couldn't protect.
Very
The
interesting.
Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperloi, in a very public execution.
Wait, by the way, oh, a very public execution. Oh dear.
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Fricelle. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Okay. Four result. Alright. This is
Suzerain
who's
is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They forgotten already.
This made it to
They will
monarchy.
forget
Alright.
everything. Him too. Then he chooses anger over melancholy.
It's no use talking.
Gained experience, let's go.
You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened.
Okay.
When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I like the music. I like the music of this game a lot. Even when it like starts to feel repetitive, because like, I mean, I played this for like 4 hours on Monday, and like, pretty much unless you go inside somewhere, like this is the theme song for all of the outdoors. And the majority of last stream I was outside. Even when it starts to feel repetitive, it's still like, it doesn't get annoying. It's like very good for like back. Oh dear. Okay, well, can't really do this one, so thank you for your time. What am I thinking about?
You've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups.
Coach Physical Instrument. Does that mean you'll call me a maggot and Nancy boy to motivate me? Yes, sir. Forge me into organic steel, coach. I'm really, really not interested. Let's do this.
Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No. I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark, you big pussy.
I'll probably just add a task, and then I can do it later. Was it
It's
yes, sir?
going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you'll
Boy.
be a master athlete.
I pissed.
When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going to piss himself. It just happens. No shame in that.
Let's do this, coach. I'm with you.
Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept back with a bandana. The Homo Athleticus.
Let's add to the thoughts. So we got Coach Physical Instrument, Long Way Home, Revacholian Nationhood, Yom Le Million. Okay, I think these are some of these thoughts are things I don't have. Robocop. That is. Research time 6 hours and 5 minutes of in-game time. It's the lonesome long way home. Le domaine dominant in North Jamrock. The streets are prisons of New York. You guys walk down many conditions outside LA. There and your friends in the mud. And Coach's Instrument is only 40 minutes. -2 encyclopedia. Temporarily. Let's work out. Minding your own business, trying to get some detective work done. Suddenly a voice emerged from within you and told you you're a wuss, a namby-pamby, a sissy, and a limp jellyfish. This voice has zero gender sensitivity and even less empathy for underwhelming athletic performance. Try to purposefully piss it off. See if it teaches you something, then you don't know the difference between a double and a single support phase and the disciple of hammer throw. Hates that. Well, I actually don't know the difference, so that... oh, not disciple, the discipline of hammer throw. So a single would be just holding it with one hand, and a double would be holding it with two hands, maybe? I don't know. What time is it in game? It's like 2 p.m. Yeah, let's internalize Lonesome Long Way Home, I think. Lonesome Long Way Home. And then this thing pops up here. Interesting. I don't know what that does or how that changes anything, but we will see. We'll find out. I've never used it. I don't think I've ever used it. Okay, alright. If you're gonna walk all the way down there, then you're gonna run. Better mouth your watch around me, boy. The things I've seen and said. Nothing I can't do. I'm the job for every man. You mean man for every job. He's wasted. You hear the distant squall of seabirds, okay? Sometimes the, like, sensory skill, I think. I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a skill that's just for senses. Sometimes it'll just be like, hey, you're hearing something, by the way. Hey, you can see something, by the way. It's like, yeah, I've got my earbuds in and my eyes open.
The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname.
Listen first.
The faded marks are too degraded to draw any forensic conclusions. Just chips in the sandstone.
Kim, look, bullet holes. Point to the chips in the wall. Someone's been shot. We're cops. We should solve it.
There? Those are old.
What do you mean, old?
These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation.
What can you tell me about
Not
that?
much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go?
Okay. Alright, I'm at 70. 70 empathy. Alright. You can use... Dude, no way. Dude, you can use... You don't even have to point and click. You can use WASD and then sprint is to... Shift is to sprint. You're shitting me. I could have been moving with the fuck... It says Windows. I could have been moving with the keyboard this whole time. That would have made it so much easier to deal with. You had a bag in your hand. Oh, wait, I didn't read it. Fuck, what did it say? Okay, I had a bag in my hand, something. Enormous bulls worthy of a real man. Alright, alright. Lonely cormorant survey. Wow. A lonely cormorant surveys the sea. Indifferent, and I couldn't finish the sentence again. If I could read, this would be less of a problem, I think. The ability of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Interesting. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, roundabout north. Cape Side Apartments. I think there was something about the Cape Side Apartments I need to remember.
Up here, Piggo.
Inside the frame of a motorcycle. What's up?
The streets will flow red once more.
The skull.
A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
Get her, Kim,
I'm
get her.
Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive. Don't use that tone with me. I am the law. Sorry, with blood type and boom there. Yeah, when were you last? This is no question. Okay. Let's see. Let's be a smartass.
Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
Despite the attitude, she puts the brush aside.
The
You're
lieutenant
looking at-
furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. I have to go to work now. Okay. Have fun at work, Nico. Does this game look pretty cool so far? I know we're in a kind of a slow part because I'm trying to figure stuff out, but this game is like reading a book. Okay. Do you like reading? Perchance?
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features.
It make me sleepy. It is very relaxing with the narration and the background music for sure. I don't actually know if it's for me. That's fair. That's fair. I think when
That's on her.
my
Someone
investigations
got
get
eye on
more
her.
like when I get the ball rolling a little bit more, it might be less like you know, like at the very beginning, very epic, and then it got a little bit more open, if that makes sense, with like choose what you want to do now, and then it got a little bit slower. So if I were just coming in right now, and we're in the same boat as you, I would absolutely have the same opinion. I'd be like, fuck no, because normally, like a lot of games that are like slower, kind of like I get like antsy, and I'm like, something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. What's going on? Can we please do something? And so normally a lot of games I like, especially games where it's like you can click on everything, but you don't have to. Normally with games like that, I'm like, fuck, I just need the most direct path to the end possible. No side quests. I'm doing the bare story right now. But I think this one, given it's a mystery game and given how like nice the beginning was, I think it's made it so that I'm able to dive in and don't try to rush through everything as much as possible. But yeah, have a nice day of work, and I'll see you around. I'm gonna try and grind homework like tonight and like as much as I can tomorrow. I'm gonna try and actually wake up early tomorrow instead of waking up at like 1. I'm gonna try and wake up early tomorrow, get a bunch of homework done so I can start streaming like Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So stream a bit more regularly and during the week and stuff. Bye. Adios. They're gonna be grinding homework at work too. Nice. Yeah. My plan for today was originally to start streaming at like 8 a.m. my time, and then by now I would like stop the stream at like noon, and by now I'd be starting on the homework grind, but woke up way too late for that. So, but yeah. We're gonna be academic weapons, Nico. We got this. Godspeed. That ozone whore. Someone's gotta keep an eye on her. Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit.
You definitely pronounced this whole thing wrong for sure.
I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
gonna have to stop you. This is hooliganism. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied. I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
Nice. Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We
Get her
weren't
ass.
put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got
Ungulate.
eyes on you.
What is this? Magnesium. Oh, yeah. Morale has been healed. I already had magnesium. Whoopsie, forgot about that. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. It definitely was. I can say that without a doubt. It was.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Okay.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
Extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. What does L stand for?
Baton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
Who gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Oh, nice. I see.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk?
I'm not a drunk. I'm a police
Of course you're
officer.
not. It was only a joke.
Shake her
I'm
hand.
glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. She seems relieved.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
Good,
That
good,
is
good.
good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Thank you, Kim.
How interesting.
She stares you on
I
face.
wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You're on a boat. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What can you tell me about this strike? What can you tell me about this lynching? Do you know something about these tattoos? You seem rich. Can I have some money? Thank you. That's all. Right. We'll start off with the number one.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Does she have a name?
Boat? No. It is called Coeur de Leyte 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
You should give it a
The
name.
word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name. A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Coeur de Leyte 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat. It makes all the sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Coeur de Leyte, and its hull is 19 paces long.
About the sleek fish? How about the X something? How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
I don't know. Feels pretty.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. but thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, what kind of boat is
It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like
My
it?
sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
The eel's hips. Not the bee's knees. No, no. No, sir. The eel's hips.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I'm
I
glad.
really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
It's something to do with him. A lot of people on boats
there
here.
are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
There was a
Walking
pinch
like
of
everyone else?
defensiveness in her voice, but it is playful.
We're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
I thought we were in Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Oh, Revachol's not the country? Okay. Still, I haven't
I
seen anyone
haven't
else.
seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
How do you even know
Actually,
we were...
that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Right.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
That wasn't my question.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
Can I see your
I
license?
just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
What happened to the other
The
time?
other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see a license, man.
Actually, you don't.
What do you mean?
The Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license. It's a little-known fact among these law officials.
Exactly how the hell known is this act? More like the Anarchy Act, in my opinion. Okay, forget
About
that
the
one.
boat?
I think I have a handle on the
Good.
boat. About Wild
What
Pine.
we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money
I'm
is
not
Wild
at
Pine?
liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Clean in my glasses. Clean in my glasses. Clean in my glasses. That's like. Okay. That's more than 20 billion real.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion? Wow, that's it. I thought it was big damn. It was so much less.
Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks.
Oh yes, of
A
course.
conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where's Wild Pines? Get all those
They
billions.
started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
Suzerain.
Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Okay, got it. Sometimes I have to reread this stuff after they say it, because I'll either stop paying attention mid-sentence, or I'll like focus on like one specific like sentence. Just for whatever reason, I'll just like miss everything that was said. So it's probably like 2/3 of me playing the game has been me actually playing the game, and the other third has been me being like, oh shit. System is totalizing, it's taking everything. Such a huge system on a place like this.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
Ooh, do I want to be a socialist for a moment? I absolutely could. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company's nothing
We
without
built
them.
this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
Revacholian.
A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter.
She takes a
I'm
sip.
here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Seem rich, can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Nah.
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
Nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities.
Yes, sir.
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
Yes, so I need money.
Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some
You
dough.
think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet, Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the Force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does
It's an
is
83% chance to work, and I still fit by. I still whiff. Oh my god. 11, 8. Volition 5. 2, critical failure. That is horrific. How did this happen? This is abysmal.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
Voice is kind, a little horse from the
what
wind.
you meant to say was.
Put skill points into volition to open the switch. Oh my god. Anything about these
That's the man
tattoos?
who was killed.
Almost takes the photo, but then stops.
I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos.
Better not tie the Force Day to the Bat's Day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Yeah, but
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I lost my badge.
See. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. Could have eaten it for all I know. Don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing. Yes.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
Well, yes. My colleague
As I
warned you
said,
already.
ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Yes. We.
Of course,
Quick.
I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Can I be
She's
Okay.
a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our alarm.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
Union is profiting from the drug trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones.
Most certainly try.
Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Dude,
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
the Vince voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, your henchman
This
now?
woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser.
One
Either
second.
way, we've played straight into her hands.
chilling. Someone just knocked on the door. It's running in circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept by the way we played straight to her.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Would you propose that we don't investigate this
No.
again?
If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
That is true.
What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. I'm sure you will, Detective. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
That's
You
true.
could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Let's get back to it. Alrighty. Alrighty, miss.
You're back.
Oh, I
Good.
keep getting the purple circle.
What can I help you with?
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about
First,
trade?
you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Wouldn't want to disturb an
I'm glad you
octopus.
see it that way. To repeal the act would mean repealing the coalition government, the one that leases you the right to police West Revachol.
Yeah.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
Is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
That was more about this
What can I
behemoth.
say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
How are the talks going
Let's say
before?
I was
lynching?
not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still
February.
partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in
Aye.
December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
I took over after Mr. Beaumont. Hey, boss. You want to clear if you speak about sessions, union, fair negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Yeah,
Heavens
how did you
no.
not?
There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more,
That is good.
I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this
Mr.
Gaumont?
Clare told him to... How did he put it?
Let's decompose
Fuck
yourself.
off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Okay then.
Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posture.
What are their
There are
demands?
leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get information out of her. I don't want to make it seem like I'm siding with them. I don't know what to think about that.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, It needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Now, personally, that sounds not bad. Okay, I understand it'll make decisions take longer, but it also is making the decision more fair.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Yes.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
His name is Manyan.
This checks out.
These guys are the gate.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Okay, I will absolutely forget that. But cool, good to know. What about this Union boss, Mr. Clare?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
There are two of him? So I'm realizing Everard Clare is not a region with several people. It's just the one guy, and that's why Kim was worried about asking him for help. Because he is like, he as a person, an individual. There are two of him?
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Interesting.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
I see. I see. The problem is not communism, it is two capitalists who are exploiting the union. Not the union itself, outside the village clear.
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
For not having opinions.
Of course, officer.
Something happened in the
I'm
election.
glad you asked.
Gain experience, let's
There
go.
was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Oh boy. What did I... something she wanted to tell you? present her with a basket, or perhaps do her a favor. Farewell formality. Whatever the case, you need to know what she knows. Like, ask Kuno, ask her for Claire. Dues, I gotta go back to Joyce. Oh, it's okay, think karaoke. Gone. That's rap. There is a competition. Play with the case or the deck.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me.
Downright
The Wild
haunting.
Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your
Yes,
concern,
yes.
man. We'll be just fine.
Yes, she's
Of course.
back.
How else can I help?
This alleged drug
It's quite
trafficking.
straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
So it's using Terminal B, smuggle raw ingredients from the Samaritan Isola into web. Union's blessing. Wild Pines. For you.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Just come from Samar to Revachol through the terminal.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
But if you just stopped accepting the
Wild Pines
ingredients,
seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
no one's invested.
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrart and the Dock Workers Union. Still,
She raises a bony finger.
every chain has its weak link.
What do you mean?
The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Okay.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way, but one step ahead of the Union in another.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier, I mean? It was generally like that, is it? Yeah, the Union. Oh. There was that lynching. And with the spelling investigation. Yeah.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
Now,
The
yeah,
company
yeah.
has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However,
Boss is looking at the sea.
this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wandered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
Oh.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Okay. Empathy leveling the shut up immediately. Okay. I need this. I need this really bad. I need this for sure. Except okay. What if the union is
How do you think
followed?
they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
I think the strike is being funded with source ingredients.
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Do we?
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Yes?
Okay.
Excellent.
The jam.
According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Yes,
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Cool. What is this? Shadows on the water, green plants under the calm surface. Okay. Someone's using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients of drugs into commercial. Joy said there are 3 drivers at the intersection. Talk to them. Must interrogate. I have no idea where this thing you should talk about is. Looks like there's more construction here once decades ago. Okay, where is it? Where is it? What is this?
This Post Lavantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Good mail delivery bot.
The box seems happy. Eat
Excellent.
shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also.
Been there post
The mail
11
collection
to
box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow, and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, Revachol forever.
Cool. Alright, where is it down here maybe? So a great gateway to the river filth, okay. Hey, can I get directions from this guy maybe?
You see a Cimarron street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, The place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very cool.
Let's go.
Bang, 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 bang!
Really? You think I'm cool?
Oh, yes! You got style. You got personal style. You know what you like.
Thank you. Surveys his consumerist kingdom with an air of satisfaction.
You like premium menswear. Look around and browse.
Yeah.
Everything looks cool on a guy like you. Take your time.
He settles back into a pile of boxes he's sitting on.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions.
Where are you from, Sterling?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
Not local, are you?
Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
Yum. Apricots
The
are
apricot
delicious.
suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand.
So there are not apricots
No,
there.
no, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Sigai.
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things.
I don't have any money, man.
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom.
Is there a discount for cool
No
officers
need
like
for
me?
Discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
Where'd you get those comfy
I'm an
pants?
entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board.
That's all then.
Anything for you.
Look around, thanks. Over here.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
And look at the
There are
pants.
clothes inside, cheap,
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Rest of the
you
box.
find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Oh no.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
I'm good. Alright. We need directions. That's what I was hoping he could give us, but it seems like maybe not. Are they up here, perchance? No, not over here for sure. Most definitely not over here. Ooh.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
We need directions.
Of course. Where to?
Where am I?
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
What is up in the north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really.
What is in the
It's
west?
just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are
I'm
some
trying to
islands
find
in the
the
bay,
drawbridge,
but
though.
they're hard to reach.
In the west is the miracle.
Is in the
The
east.
harbor gates? Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store too.
It's in the south.
Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge
Ah,
leads
the
to the
bridge.
coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably.
What's on the other side of the canal?
Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
Cool.
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on newspapers. Water, water everywhere, pouring from the heavens in the shadow of the old church.
What kind of fish market is
I
this?
don't know. The abandoned kind? It used to gather every spring, but there's nothing to do there now. Just drug addicts.
Thanks, that's all for
No
now.
problem.
Run. Okay, so now I know further south is where the cars probably are. Real quick though, I want to go speak to Kuno. Hella empathy this time. Please speak to him.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Oh, 58%. I don't want to fuck this up though. Shit. My empathy's a 7. And then back down from Kuno is -1. Talk to Kuno S is a +1. So it's just back to 7. So in order to get to 14, I need to get 7. So why is that 58? Oh wait, it's from 2 to 12. So no.
Kuno doesn't.
South we go. Oh, was not paying attention. Almost ran into the car. This is a dam of some sort. And, okay. And then here, drawbridge. So then where are all the cars? Where are the cars she's talking about? Applying to the company that controls the drawbridge. Hold on, let me. There is at the intersection. But they're not in. There aren't any cars over here. They're not in their car. That's no.
Everything's still.
Sorry. See you. Is this a driver, perhaps?
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
No, there's some accent music. What's going on
The
here?
jam, my man.
What's the jam?
Traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Upon days. Yeah, exactly.
How have you been
Feels
here?
like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Extravagantly phrased, but I can roll with it.
Imagine. It's been a whole week already.
You sneak.
Behind the laugh, however, a touch of sorrow.
So tell me, what do you need?
Let's see. Tell me more about
It's
this
like-
strike.
Whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. No way in or out.
What's the union demanding?
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
What do you think the company
They want
wants?
to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
Anything else? I should
Anything
know?
else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do.
All the food.
Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really.
Not you.
Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Okay. What are you hauling anyway?
Oh, high-grade narcotics, firearms, stuff like that.
Okay,
Time
cool.
to arrest him.
Okay, what are you
Can't
actually
even
on?
get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of foul cargo. Mostly sporting goods, tracksuits, and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il-Moran market lately.
Is that machine?
It's
What's
rocky
machine?
beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery?
That was pretty neat.
For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Laurent Bird somehow.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
What do you see in his eyes? What do I see in his eyes? Let's ask him a question. Anything about the dead man?
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy.
Busy with what?
The
No,
man
I don't
taps
wanna
his
click that.
fingers rhythmically.
He ain't one of us drivers. I
Busy
know
with that.
analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs.
Your
A
conclusion?
sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
That's very sad. So, like, man, it was about
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Conflagration.
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
Anything could be conducting the traffic train
I
then.
try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation.
Alright, fingies crossed.
Ease into it.
And it did not work.
Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
There's a failure. Oh, what's the nicest way to put this? What's going on?
I'm okay, man. Just the jams got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
The man recedes into states of words.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
Good for now, good talk.
Don't be a stranger.
So, oh, this is the roundabout. I see.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane."
Curious.
Not a good track record of mental health in that family.
I'll look at it later. Here's someone.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your...
I don't want to assume she's my grandma. No
response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her.
Maybe I am supposed to say grandma?
Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead. No, this one is a monster in disguise.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Fingers
Where
twice.
am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject. From hypnosis, you jolted her back
The
to
smile
reality.
on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Alright, ma'am, you're right.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s.
Yeah, it's a contempt. It's about the
The men
50s.
have the small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber?
When else would you
Back
be
in
then?
Methka, during the time of the revolution,
Oh, transfer faith.
the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro.
Right, yes, of course.
Until you came along, that is.
Look, she gives you as accusatory.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Luman. It was early spring, and the mine behind the Black Sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden.
Eyes narrow, she appears to take your measure.
While you people were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Methk, it was a golden age.
Right, that's another.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos, and knickknacks line the dashboard.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
What are you on?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, really?
Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was?
What are you really on?
Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine.
So you don't know what you're hauling in your own
I
lorry?
quit concerning myself with that a long time ago.
Smart.
Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
You drive it for the money. Is what you mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
You get high off driving, right?
It's so much more than a high where I go, Harife. It's low. I go to the bottom.
She closes her eyes in reverie.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
What if the cargo is
Then it's
contraband?
contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad hand Hermenegildo.
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Right. Before I came, you seemed away.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
No.
You hear that, Loman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Should you drive lorry if you like
Don't
that?
worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will.
What routes?
Lomonosov's Land, Udashnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind
A
submerge.
terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatalia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly.
Eyes are getting shutters. So I think of an expert in blacking out. You should take good care of
You're
yourself.
right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health more seriously. Thank you for looking out for me.
A correct appraisal. You're quite shabby.
Is that all you woke me up to say?
So
Now
your
what do
boots.
you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff?
It's important
I'm
police.
starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots made of black leather. Buckles run across. The sole is also made of leather.
Now the other one,
Just before
please.
Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
There's no aberration in the pattern that you can see. She puts her foot down.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. Her size is 37.
Oh, my bad.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes.
Adversary?
There is a protagonista
That one.
and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
was getting at.
Then what were you
This line of questioning is going nowhere. Try harder.
What is it you're
You're
hauling
mad,
exactly?
Lowman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way.
Really, you don't know what you're about, but really drugs.
Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramirizza to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramirizza to Grat, Lowman?
Drugs?
No, Lowman. Diamonds.
She grins.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Didn't ask you what dimes, did I? I don't
Diamonds
care
are
about
good
that.
for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras.
Who do you think smells like drugs?
Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet.
I
Also,
swear.
he's the only one I can see from here.
Anyway,
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree.
Right, of course.
Or
That's it.
I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Thank you for now.
Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Meskin.
Voice trails up. Okay, so there's a third driver that you can talk to, and that's all. One car kept in good condition. Okay. And not talk to this guy. Was rather they stored fuel here, now they store booze. Can I talk to you?
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Voice an oddly screechy random says. Yeah, okay, I'm scared, I'm gonna leave. We'll talk to you later. I don't wanna get too distracted right now.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Racist lorry driver, okay. That's a rotund man. The remarks interest you, it's just the lieutenant. You're addressing my partner like that.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You tell.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
So we are in a...
Come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
Right, yeah,
I know
yeah.
exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCN. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
I think we all learned something.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
Shakes his head with
The
indignation.
lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness. You sense slight embarrassment for the outburst. Or is it pride? Impossible to tell.
Now that that's settled, we have a couple of
Whatever
questions.
you say, officers.
He waits passively. Cigarette smoldering between his fingers.
You could ask him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching. Maybe he was present.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races.
Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic.
Oh my god, he is so racist.
Under the sand
Oh,
like common sheep.
Good god.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
Oh, so you're just racist. Makes
I'm
sense.
not just racist. Look, I've read books. Huh? The science of racial theory has all been proved, even if some people don't want to accept it. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that.
Yes, I can really tell you're a prime example of
Open your
superior
eyes.
design.
Haven't you noticed something different lately? An unfortunate downturn, maybe? Huh? When members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority, they stop competing for resources.
Yeah, what's the problem with that?
The problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other introduced species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory.
This culture
It's
of
what the
victory.
Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
I'm not done with this. I don't even fuck yourself.
Don't push your luck. Runt.
Alright, well, I guess I'm not getting any information from him right now. Most able-bodied men, this issue was a top 10. Oh no, they're much hunkier than you. Didn't feel right with handsome men, don't be silly. Jump Jams, a popular music mag. Alright, I want to talk to him again real quick, see if...
Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
What do you want?
Not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. Apples.
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
You see the soles of your boots?
Been admiring the stompers, Runt? Sure, I can demonstrate them.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediate discernible pattern. The wind howls over the Bay of Rivershaw, a cascade of cold air flowing through the city streets. Those same streets have left their share of scuff marks on the underside of your green snakeskin shoes.
That map of
It sure
Russia.
is.
She's with like that.
Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny.
But why?
You'll see when the time comes, officer. True patriots carry Revachol in their very souls.
Technically, you're stomping on Ravachol every step you take.
Huh. I know you people don't understand poetry.
Okay. Your stance on drugs.
They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette.
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
So racist. You're not smuggling drugs out of Martin.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
What are you still
What
hanging
do
on
you
here
think?
for?
I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
It's not you, then who's running drugs to Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Seal...
Guess so.
Good for now. Alright, we'll talk to Sealang, I guess. I don't think it's him. And the fact that if he's selling the things from his lorry, lorry has clothes. We're looking for someone with drugs in their lorry, so.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into drugs.
Very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
Looking for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of here.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
You are a lorry man, and the drivers identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe
you're a
you.
lorry driver?
Oh.
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you were embarrassed to tell me?
No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Sealing, my source tells me you're the one transporting.
No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Maybe he's the one, huh? Have you thought about that?
We did think about that. I'm sorry, buddy. I had to ask.
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
What are you afraid of, Sealing?
Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up.
We're buddies, Sealing. Help us out. I don't know.
Is she okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
Okay, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
We're underprivileged grandma. Added up the lady there. I'll leave it now. Okay. Alright. You found him up running away. Did you it? Cool. Head out. Who's the lady driver? Where's her lorry? What did one? Scroll up, goddamn. There you go. Yes. Alright. Can't really tell who all is a woman who isn't at this point. I will simply talk to that lady again.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
You're not the driver. Everyone's
I'm only
terrified of.
terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Why are you scared of people?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
Who is the female driver I
How
was told
should
of?
I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?